Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has reached Dras in Ladakh, where he is paying tribute to the martyrs of the Kargil War on the 27th Kargil Vijay Divas. The Defence Minister is currently at the Kargil War Memorial. These are the live pictures that are coming in, where he is participating in the Shraddhanjali Samaroh, laying a wreath in honour of soldiers, heroes who laid down their lives defending the nation's borders in 1999.
नीचे बैठ जाओ।
These are live visuals from Dras, where Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has paid tribute to the martyrs of the Kargil War on the 27th Kargil Vijay Divas. He is at the Kargil War Memorial, where he just participated in the Shraddhanjali Samaroh. Live pictures are now coming in. Let's cut across. Minister Rajnath Singh, who is in Dras in Kargil, he just took part in the Shraddhanjali Samaroh, where he laid a wreath in honour of soldiers who laid down their lives defending the nation's borders in the summer of 1999. 27 years ago, viewers, in the very heights of Dras, among the coldest and most treacherous terrains in the world, the Indian Army fought and won one of the most difficult wars in its history. And today, 27 years later, we remember those martyrs, those heroes. Back then, the Indian Army reclaimed the peak after peak from Pakistani intruders who had crept across the line of control. Operation Vijay claimed the lives of over 500 soldiers, men who fought at altitudes where the very air, turns against them. They gave everything so that the tricolour flies high over the Tiger Hill and at point 4875. As the nation pauses to remember their sacrifice, Dras, which is the town that came to be known as the second most coldest inhabited place on earth, once again is now turning into a site of a solemn national tribute. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh's presence at the memorial once again underlines the significance of today. It is not just a military anniversary, but it's a reminder of the price our soldiers paid for India's sovereignty. That price was paid in the blood of its bravest sons, in the blood of its martyrs. My colleague Suhail is with us. He is reporting live from Dras in Kargil. Let's cut across to his live report.
पीछे धकेल दिया, उन्हें हराया और ऐसी शिकस्त दी जो रहती दुनिया तक याद रखी जाएगी और जिससे आज भी उस जीत पर आज भी हर एक देशवासी, हर एक युवा जो है वो फख्र महसूस करता है। और ये तमाम पहाड़ियां जो है वो काफी अहम हैं, क्योंकि इन्हीं पहाड़ियों के दामन से श्रीनगर लेह हाईवे गुजरता है और दुश्मन की ये चाल थी, दुश्मन का ये मंसूबा था कि उस हाईवे पर जो है लगातार वो नियंत्रण नजर रखे, उस पर अटैक करे और कोशिश करे कि जम्मू कश्मीर से लद्दाख को काट दिया जाए। लेकिन जो है वो मंसूबा जो है वो विफल हुआ और उस मंसूबे को भारतीय सेना सेना के वीर जवानों ने विफल किया, नाकाम बनाया। और फिलहाल जो श्रद्धांजलि सभा है, समारोह है, वो लगातार जारी है। केंद्रीय मंत्री और रक्षा मंत्री राजनाथ सिंह कारगिल वार मेमोरियल के ठीक सामने उन्होंने उन जवानों को श्रद्धांजलि की, उनकी कुर्बानियों को नमन किया। और इसी तरीके से बाकी जो डिग्निटरीज यहाँ पे मौजूद है, उन्होंने भी उन शहीदों को याद किया। और हम भी अपनी तरफ से उन शहीदों को आज खराज अकीदत करते हैं, नमन करते हैं, जिन्होंने करगिल युद्ध में अपनी जानों का नजराना दिया और देश की अखंडता पर कोई आंच नहीं आने दी।
My colleague Sahil is reporting live from Dras as we bring you the live pictures from the Shraddhanjali Samaroh, in which Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh is today there, and his presence, like we've been telling you, underscores the importance and the significance of today's of the day today. Standing there at Dras, let me go across to Mayank, who's also with us, who's going to tell us about how, what does the silence there at the memorial actually feel like? Does it, what the kind of weight that it carries of what happened 27 years ago? The nation today is paying tribute, is remembering the heroes of Kargil. We're going to keep those live pictures on our screens. Let me go across to Mayank, who's also tracking all the developments live. A solemn day where India paying tribute to the martyrs, its bravest sons, the martyrs of the Kargil War. The significance of the day has been underscored with the presence of Raksha Mantri, with the message that's coming in from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Draupadi Murmu. Mayank, if you could also tell us about what today means for the nation.
Shakarika, it was Kargil which triggered lots of changes and transformations in the entire military of the country. Because that was the time when our youth, generally the soldiers who were quite young, and they were captains and majors and lieutenants, they had fought some a war which was also described as impossible. Now, why impossible? Because the Pakistan regulars, which Pakistan itself accepted later on, because it was hiding initially and saying that it was within the people from within Kashmir who were atop those peaks actually. So when it was impossible because those people were well entrenched on the peaks there, and they were able to fire bullseye on the people who are coming from below. That's the kind of impossible war which was fought there. And Shagarika, if you stand amidst those towering heights, you become emotional, because it is such an impossibility which you see. Everything is so clear, crystal clear, that and when you start walking, because I have trekked over Tololing and those areas and have reported from those areas. When you start walking up, your breath breaks actually. You start gasping for breath. That's the kind of environment there. The other part is actually, it's not only bullets which kill you there. One stone rolled from top, it triggers multiple stones actually rolling down. That's the kind of an impossibility which was faced by our soldiers. But still, after losing 527 lives there, and almost more than 1,300 soldiers who were injured there, we could capture those heights by fighting impossible wars and trekking over, slithering up and up. With ropes and all, these soldiers, they climbed up vertical heights. That's the kind of war we fought actually. And Air Force was also firing, from different areas, and with the limitation that they won't be crossing line of control. That's the kind of discipline our armed forces have minded.
Right.
The bigger part is actually, when Pakistan was denying that it's their soldiers who were there, India was giving them solemn burial.
And
that's the kind of
27 years on, as today we remember the martyrs of the Kargil War, as we pay tribute to our heroes, as we remember their sacrifice and remain forever indebted. We're also going to talk about the changes that have taken place in the way India approaches its military establishment. We'll talk about that as well. But let's go across to Sahil Suhail, who is reporting live from Dras. Sahil, Kargil is known as the land of the brave. Today, we are remembering India's bravest sons, heroes, martyrs who sacrificed their lives for India's sovereignty. As you stand there, as you watch these pictures come in, as you cover today's, the significance of the day today, What is the message that Kargil is sending to the country, to its people?
Well, exactly today on the 27th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas, we are remembering all those heroes and brave hearts who laid down their lives on the hills of Kargil, from Tololing to Batra Top to Tiger Hill, and in fact protected the nation's sovereignty. In fact, we are reporting from the Kargil War Memorial. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh attended the wreath-laying ceremony here at this Kargil War Memorial, and here are in fact the names of around 527 Jawans that are written on this Kargil War Memorial. They are those heroes who laid down their lives in this Kargil War. And above this Kargil War Memorial is the Tololing mountain peak, and this Kargil war basically had started from this very mountain peak, and which was in fact at that time under the control of Pakistani forces, and it's that in fact this point where the Indian army started repulsing Pakistani aggressors and in Pakistani army, and from this up to Patra Top to Tiger Hill, Indian army with their courage and in fact with their bravery not just defeated Pakistan, but basically offered supreme sacrifices. The bravery is in fact worldwide in fact being praised because the terrain is difficult. When you in fact look at the in fact weather conditions in Dras, it's world's second coldest habitation. The temperature goes below -65, and you can imagine how Indian Army basically fought this war back in 1999 when there were in fact limitations in terms of infrastructure and other things. And here today it's completely revolutionized. We have modern equipments, and in fact all this is possible because of the efforts that the nation has put in fact for bringing revolution in army. But despite those adverse weather conditions and limitations, Pakistan fought back and in fact secured a victory on these high mountain peaks. And here the in fact the wreath-laying ceremony has concluded now, but the Raksha Mantri, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh is there. He is being briefed about the Kargil War, how Indian Army step by step secured all these mountain peaks back and its in fact areas, and how brave the soldiers were on field back in 1990. In fact 27 years after, we still remember those brave army soldiers who offered supreme sacrifices, who offered in fact sacrifices in this world's second coldest habitation in Dras. 527 Jawans, as I said, had offered supreme sacrifices during Operation Vijay, which was basically initiated by Indian Army in the month of May, and by July, all in fact mountain peaks were secured by Indian Army. They were recaptured by Indian Army, and tricolor was in fact flying on these mountain peaks by the end of July on all these mountain peaks. And still, in fact, we celebrate this day to send out a message to the countrymen, to the youngsters in particular, about the in fact bravery that Indian Army Jawans have displayed during this Kargil war. We have also seen how Indian Army forces basically performed during Operation Sindhu, which was a recent confrontation with Pakistan.
And Sahil, the mountain peaks there echo the stories of valor. And Kargil Vijay Divas is a reminder of the kind of sacrifices our Jawans make to keep the country secure. But like we've been talking about how 27 years on, with the push on Atmanirbhar Bharat, there has been a surge in indigenous defense manufacturing. So what is the sense in our military establishment today about how India is now stronger? India now is focusing on defense reforms, number one, better infrastructure, better equipment for our soldiers, roads, tunnels, forward bases. They've all transformed. Connectivity to places like Dras have also improved. So what is the sense that our military establishment gets today?
Well, exactly. We spoke to some of these soldiers and officers who were part of this Kargil War back in 1999, and they basically narrate how difficult it was then. There was lack of infrastructure, there was lack of impact technological advancement at that point in time. But since then, Indian Army has reformed itself, and under our Atmanirbhar Bharat, we had seen indigenous technologies being, in fact, equipped. Indian Army being equipped with those technologies. Yesterday we had seen a drone show where in fact the drone cameras are in fact not just being used for the surveillance, but they are drones that are being used to attack the enemy. Bunker buster drones and other sort of drones, not just for the surveillance and are in fact transportation of essential arms and ammunition from base to these mountain peaks, but equally there are technologies available with Indian Army that are giving in fact sleepless nights to the enemy. At the same time, when it comes to infrastructure, remember back in 1999 it was Zojila Pass that was blocked by the snow, and that had created some sort of hindrance to Indian Army while moving from Srinagar to Dras and Kargil. But today we have Zojila Tunnel project of around 5,000 crores, and recently it was in fact the breakthrough was completed and the construction work is going on. At the same time, the executing agency had at that point in time made it clear that Indian Army can use it basically at any point in time. So we are now in a position, we have better infrastructure, we have better military equipments, and more importantly, under Atmanirbhar Bharat, Indian Army has been equipped with in fact most advanced military techniques and military equipments, whether it's drones, whether there are in fact advanced use of artillery that is being placed on along the line of control and line of actual control. But important is that what matters at the bottom of it is the courage and bravery of Indian Army soldiers. That matters in these difficult situations. When it was Kargil War, it was bravery and courage of Indian Army soldiers who upscaled these mountain peaks despite difficult terrain. These are vertical mountains, in fact.
And their courage, bravery, Sahil, and their indomitable spirit is an inspiration for the entire nation. What's the day going to look like today in Kargil? We're getting you live pictures from both the national capital, from the National War Memorial, where the wreath-laying ceremony is currently on, and also from Dras in Kargil, where Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh is there. He's set to address the gathering there. Let's actually cut across and ask Sahil to get us a lowdown of what's expected through the day today. If you could tell our audiences about it.
Well, currently Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is visiting the Hut of Remembrance. This is a place where Indian Army has collected all the equipments that they had seized from Pakistani Army during Kargil War, and he is inspecting this Hut of Remembrance. And following that, Raksha Mantri will be straightway reaching to the venue where families of martyrs are seated, and he will be addressing together Army Jawans and the family members of those martyrs who laid down their lives in this Kargil War. So this is the likely schedule of Raksha Mantri, and after that there are multiple other events that are planned for the day. But briefly now, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, after visiting Hut of Remembrance, will be now directly going to the venue where he will be addressing to the impact nation, to the families of martyrs and the Army Jawans. This will be an important address, given the fact that we had in fact seen how Indian Army is revolutionizing its technologies, its in fact conduct, and we had seen that in Operation Sindoor how enemy was defeated again with the help of technologies, with the help of drone equipments, how important and strategic locations of Pakistan were attacked, including the Pakistani air bases. So today is the day when we basically salute the courage and bravery of Indian Army soldiers, and it's the day to remember those sacrifices that basically protected and in fact defeated the enemy's plan to disconnect Ladakh region from the rest of the country, because if you can see this Kargil War Memorial behind are these mountain peaks, and they were basically captured by Pakistani forces, and beneath those mountain peaks runs this Srinagar-Leh highway that's called National Highway 1A, and it was enemy's plan basically to in fact attack the highway, disrupt the movement of forces on this highway, and continuously in fact keep surveillance on this highway. But that enemy, plan of enemy was defeated by our brave soldiers. And here you can see it's a group photograph that's being collected by the defense minister with the families of all those martyrs who were invited for this 27th Kargil
And
Vijay
since
Divas.
1999, in the last 27 years, Sahil, surveillance and precision strike capabilities of the army have also leapt forward. There have been many takeaways, you know, a huge transformation in you know, the defense establishment as well. With that, it's time for us to take a short commercial break. We pay tribute to our heroes. We pay tribute to the martyrs of Kargil. Taking a short break, we'll be back with more news.